Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Guys, we have a lot to talk about in this stream. We are going to be starting with some technical analysis on one of your favorite cryptocurrencies, Ethereum. And then we're going to be moving into some analysis on the month of February and how it plays into our movements here in cryptocurrency. And then, guys, we are going to be doing some technical analysis on Bitcoin. Hey, guys, what's going on? Jeb here. And in this live stream, we have a lot to cover, and I'm very excited about it. Give me a 1 in chat if you are ready for this stream. We are not going to delay very long. I want to say hi to everyone in chat, and we're going to jump straight on to the charts. Shout out to Aaron and Joker and MM and Salim and John and Apocalypse and Apocalypto Crypto. That's a great name, Apocalypto Crypto. Smay is our writer, researcher, and moderator, and he is in the chat. Shout out to Smay. Thank you very much for keeping the chat nice and clean. Some good news, please. We have a lot of very exciting news. Trust me, aka I know nothing. Not sure what that means. Afternoon from Hampshire. Hello. T-A-T-A-T-A-T-A-T-A. Exactly. Cheers, says Frofheimer. Mattis S. Shout out to Mattis. Longtime subscriber. Guys, this stream is brought to you by a latte, and I'm very excited to have my first latte of the week with all of you. If you guys don't know, we have an espresso machine in our office, and it is so good. So excited for it. By the way, guys, we are going to be going on BitBoy's live stream tomorrow at 11 o'clock, so make sure you tune in. The live stream will be a little bit delayed tomorrow because we will be going live while he is streaming and going on his show. Shout out to BitBoy. Shout out for him passing 500K subs. If you haven't already, go check out his channel. He makes a lot of great content. Hey, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Good morning, Cody. We are going to spend a couple of minutes here just letting some people join on in. Don't want to start the TA without everybody being ready for it, and then we're going to jump straight on into it. Greetings from Germany and Ohio and Austria. I'm actually going to be in Ohio on Thursday because I am going snowboarding. I'm so exciting. What kind of espresso machine? It's a Gaggia, I believe. Our editor just so happens to have a background in being a barista and coffee making. It's great. A bucket of latte. It is basically a bucket of latte. Look at this. My mug says, oh, that's right. This is my Grand Canyon mug. Check this out, guys. See if it'll focus. The Grand Canyon. All right. We're not going to delay any longer. We are going to jump straight on to our Ethereum technical analysis. I know you guys want to know what's going on Ethereum. This is the chart that we are going to end up with here in a minute. But before we end up with this chart, we first have to start with nothing. So let's go ahead and clear everything, and we're going to start from a blank chart, and we're going to take you to banking on cryptocurrency and on Ethereum. So again, let me show you. This is where we're going. This is where we are. The very first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of blank chart syndrome. Remember, guys, we talk about this all the time. When you're looking at a chart, it can be very easy to be like, okay, what do I do? Give me a 1 in chat if you're looking at this chart right now and you're thinking, what in the world do I do to start? How do I start analyzing this chart? I think this is one of the biggest problems that people have when they're trading and charting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is that they just, quite frankly, don't know where to begin. So the very first thing we want to do is we just want to put things on our chart. Whether or not they end up being useful is not important. What is important is that we get rid of that blank chart syndrome. The very first thing I like to do is I like to put recently a level at all-time high. We hit all-time high a few days ago at $1,878 and change on Ethereum. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a level right here because this was not only a previous all-time high, as you can see, it was also a level of support here on February the 7th. If we look at our other chart, we can see that's this top line, and then we have our resistance. Good, we're getting there. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to get rid of these, and I'm going to change this to blue. You guys know that I like using blue to represent support and red to represent resistance. Remember, R equals resistance. Red is bad because you need to break through it. Blue is good because it's support, and it's a good thing. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a level of support on the all-time high figure before that one right here. And the reason I'm doing that is because what I want to do by putting all these lines on the chart is ascertain where exactly our support is if Ethereum should correct. If Ethereum is going to rally, I want to know where it's going to have difficulty, where it's going to hit a ceiling, and I also want to look for support and find out where Ethereum is going to have help if it pulls back. So these are a couple of flat levels that are going to be very useful to us. Remember, guys, when levels are within 2 to 3 percentage points of each other, we like to draw them as rectangular levels of support. These are not levels, excuse me, they are zones. This is called a zone of support. So if I go ahead and get rid of both of these, you'll see that we have this zone of support here. We're going to leave those trend lines up because they may come in handy. So I think you see where that came from. These are all the flat levels I want to talk about. There are some more that you could put on here in the process of doing this on your own. I've already done the analysis on this chart, so I know what we're looking for. But when you're doing analysis on the chart on your own, what you might do is you might say, okay, this is a previous all-time high level. Is this relevant? Maybe not. Let's see. This was a previous all-time higher level. Is this relevant? Maybe. This might be relevant. You might say, okay, we hit resistance right here at $1,792 a couple of times. Excuse me, $1,768 a couple of times. Now we're sitting just above it. Great. Good deal. I'm not going to use that level, but it's better to have more on your chart and then pull back than to not put it on your chart at all. Something that a lot of people run into is that they simply don't put anything on their chart because they're like, oh, I don't think that's important. I don't think that's important. Well, you don't know yet, so put it on there, and then if you think it's useless later, then go ahead and scrap it. So this is what the chart looks like here in a minute. This is what it looks like right now. So what I'm going to do is we have our flat levels of support. I'm now going to look for trend lines. And as you can see, I notice a trend line right here, but the problem is it's hard to tell where I should put my trend lines out here on the daily chart. Notice there's just not a lot of resolution out here. We could draw a support level right here, but does it go here or here or here? Like, how exactly do we draw this? What I like to do in this situation is I like to start analyzing on the daily chart, but to draw these trend lines, I like to go down to the 4-hourly chart. Notice we're going to have a lot more resolution as to what these lows look like, and then we can come back and start drawing more accurate trend lines. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you this trend line right here. The way I found this is pretty simple, guys. This looks daunting. You might be like, Jeb, where did that trend line come from? How did you come to the conclusion that you should put that trend line there? Well, guys, what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for highs and lows, and these are called pivot points on the market. Let me get rid of that. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to look for things called pivot points on the market. This is a pivot point where Ethereum went from rallying to correcting, from rallying to correcting, from rallying to correcting, from pulling back to rallying. These are pivot points, and they are highs in this case, and they're lows in these cases. All of these fit on one trend line, and a lot of this, guys, is just experience. I have a lot of experience in the markets. I have a lot of experience in technical analysis. I can look at a chart and I can say, boom, there is a trend line right there. It comes from experience. It's not something that you're going to have overnight. Have faith in the process. Understand it's going to take reps. It's going to take repetitions. You can't bench 400 pounds the first time you start working out if you're a twig like I am. But if you keep at it, you just might get to 300. So just keep working on it. Understand that chart vision, as I call it, is something that you will develop slowly and gradually over time. Another place that I see a level of support is right here. But you might be like, Jeb, this level of support doesn't seem very useful. We're probably not going to touch this. Doesn't look very handy. What I'm going to do, I want to remind you guys that when you're drawing trend lines, you either want to use the candle wicks, the very tip of those, or the candle bodies, as you might see right here. In this case, using the candle wicks doesn't give us very much useful information, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to draw it again using the candle bodies. Notice now, if I start using candle bodies, then we have some more useful information. We see that this low, and then these lows over here come together. I'm also going to adjust it just a little bit to make sure everything fits. And then boom, we have a level of support that may end up becoming useful, and that's the level of support that we had on our other chart. These are two separate charts, but they look identical because we've just done the exact same technical analysis. So this is what our chart looks like. These are the levels we're going to want to look at, and I also want to add a couple of extra things down here on the short term. We have an uptrend right here on 4-hourly, and then we have an uptrend right here on 4-hourly as well, and this is going to come in handy. I'm going to take a break, go to full screen, ask your opinions. Is there anything you need me to go over again? Do you see how I took a blank chart to having all of those trend lines on it? The very first thing you have to do when you're analyzing a chart and doing technical analysis is you have to figure out what the technicals are, and then you can analyze them. So we figured out what the basics of the technicals are. We figured out our support and resistance levels. We figured out our trend lines. Great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at RSI and MACD. We're going to run through all of our technical indicators, and we're going to look for formations in the candlesticks. And then after we have all of that information, we're going to interpret what those technicals mean and do the actual analysis. So throwing it back to chat for another couple of minutes. Super chats are broken right now. Good to know, Dasa. I appreciate you telling me that. Not sure why they're broken, but does anybody know why they're broken? We can't use them today. Interesting. All right, so like I said, guys, throwing it back to you guys for just a couple of minutes. We're going to continue on with this Ethereum technical analysis, and we are going to continue. Shout out to everybody who joined nice and early. Thank you very, very much for joining us today. Snowboarding in Ohio, why not Colorado or Montana? I am snowboarding in Colorado. I'm going to Keystone. I have a layover in Ohio is what I meant. Let's see here. 300 likes and I'll say hello. We got to get to 300 likes so Smay can come say hi. Good morning, Shooter McGee. Let's see. Can you analyze Bitcoin, guys? So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what the structure of this stream is going to be. We're going to start with Ethereum technical analysis. Then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the month of February and how it impacts Bitcoin and Ethereum. Some very interesting fundamental analysis that I think you guys are going to get a lot of value out of. We're going to look at the Fear and Greed Index, and then we're going to do some analysis on Bitcoin. All right, guys. Jeb, can't you kick that fake crypto Jeb out? That's not a fake crypto Jeb. That's my producer, Dasa. That's a real crypto Jeb. That is actually a real crypto Jeb. It's just our producer using my account to speak to me. Yeah, I just heard him laugh out there. He thought that was really funny that you thought he was fake. Anyway. Continuing on with our analysis, we now have all of our trend lines on our chart. We have blue for support and red for resistance, which means I need to change this. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to go back out to the daily chart. And the very first thing I want to do before we even look at any indicators is I want to look for chart formations. I want to look for any head and shoulders patterns. I want to look for engulfing candlesticks. I want to look for anything of that nature. One thing I see here is what's called a hammer formation. We have a very long wick right now and then a very short body. What this indicates is that the bears took control and then the bulls were able to rally us back up to where we started. This, if this candlestick closes like this, is actually a very good sign because this is a bottoming out candlestick. This is something you want to pay attention to, guys. Don't forget your Japanese candlestick analysis. It can give you a lot of insight. For example, over here, we saw a bullish engulfing candlestick where the green candlestick was a lot taller than the red one that preceded it. And then 2 days later, we saw the exact same thing and a non-engulfing red candlestick followed that. So based on our candlestick analysis, we might say, yeah, the bears are a little strong, but the bulls are still holding their own. We'll keep that in our back pocket and we'll come back to that. Looking at our RSI and MACD, we're going to find something very, very important. Namely, the RSI is trading sideways at 65, which means we're not massively overextended. That's pretty much all we can take from RSI right now, but MACD is converging bearish. It does look like we're about to have a cross on daily chart Ethereum over US dollar MACD, and that is not a good thing. That is a sign of bearishness. So that you can see how important that is, I will show you the recent crosses on MACD. This cross bullish was the thing that led to this rally from $1,400 to $1,900. This cross bearish over here led to a pretty large correction right here, a 20% correction in a day just a little while later. If you look back on the history of Ethereum, which I will spare you from for right now, the MACD is something you need to pay attention to. The MACD crossing bearish is an indicator that Ethereum may be about to pull back to one of those support levels or resistance levels. I'm sorry, support levels or support zones that we talked about earlier. Cool. So we have RSI and MACD information floating around in our head. Again, we're going to come back to that in our analysis. Next thing I want to do is I want to look at volume. Volume is a very important metric of how strong a rally or a downtrend is. The more volume you have, the more powerful that movement is. Right now, volume on Ethereum is quite low, but we do have more volume today than any of the recent days that we have seen. A lot of that has to do with this big dip down into our support levels, as you can see right here, and then bounce up to where we're trading now, just under $1,800. We have low volume, but in today in particular, we have higher volume. That's good. Perfect. TD sequential. Nothing to write home about on the daily chart. Surprisingly enough, we've had 3 red days and we still have not reset the TD sequential. Something to pay attention to. As we've talked about in many videos, weekly chart and monthly chart TD sequential are both overextended on Ethereum. The weekly chart overextension is concerning. The monthly chart is not. The reason being is that monthly chart TD sequential almost always stays overextended during bull markets, but it would be healthy to see that weekly chart TD sequential reset. Next thing I want to show you are the moving averages. If we go to the 4-hourly chart, I'm going to show you something interesting, and that is that Ethereum has been riding them pretty well. In fact, we pulled back and bounced around the 20 simple moving average on the 4-hourly chart, and this is the good thing right there. So that's perfect. Not much to write home about otherwise on the 4 moving averages. VPVR is telling us something important, and that is that we have a lot of support being built up here at these levels. Not a ton yet, but more than we had. This is good. I want to see more VPVR support being built up here. I want to see a ton of foundation laying up at these levels to ensure that Ethereum can maintain these prices for a long period of time. Next thing to look at is Bollinger Bands. As you can see, they are starting to widen. They're constricting a little bit in the last day or two, but in general, they're widening. We're seeing a lot of volatility coming to Ethereum. Not so much in the last week, but in general, we're seeing an increase. We're sitting very happily on the 20 on the Bollinger Bands, not massively overextended. Last thing I want to show you is on a clean chart. Actually, I'll go ahead and give you that. If you'll notice, we see that Ethereum has pulled back to the 20 daily exponential moving average, and we have found support right near it. So those are all the technical indicators I want to show you. Now we get into the analysis portion of it. So I'm going to throw it back to you guys for just a second, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on what is going on with Ethereum. Give me your thoughts before I give mine. I'm curious to hear what you guys think is the future for Ethereum. Shout out to my latte. It is the thing keeping me going right now. Alrighty. Can you tell us why log or linear, says Manuel? Great question. So, I typically use the logarithm chart because I find more valuable trend lines on the logarithm chart than I do on the linear chart. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do analysis on the linear chart. I cut it out because it's brevity. It's for brevity's sake. I want to be very concise in our analysis, and generally if I find something on the logarithm chart, even if it doesn't show up on the linear chart, it's still going to be a very important trend line. It comes down to mass psychology. How many people are trading based off the log chart and how many are trading on the linear chart? There's a lot of people trading on the linear chart, but especially with these massive rallies that we've seen in the last several months, we see a lot more people trading on the log chart, at least I think we do. And the reason for that is because we've seen huge movements and they just are hard to analyze on the linear chart. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Give me a 1 in the chat if you were enjoying the stream and if you want to see what I have to say on Ethereum's analysis and where we think Ethereum is going. Give me a 2 if you are already invested in Ethereum. And if you haven't already, consider hitting that like button. Consider subscribing. It's totally free. Trying to get to 100K subs before this summer. I appreciate everybody who has subscribed recently. We just hit 73,000 subscribers. And anyone who doesn't know, by the way, we just launched an affiliate program for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you would like to be an affiliate of CT2A, follow the link in our Instagram and our Twitter bios at CryptoJeb. Let's get to 300 likes. Absolutely. A lot of ones. Ethereum will be 20K by the end of the year. What do I think? I don't know about that. I think Ethereum will eventually go to 20K, but I don't know if it's going to happen that quickly. That's a lot of ones and a lot of twos. Good deal, guys. Let's jump straight back onto it. So, on Ethereum, here is my analysis, guys. What we've done is we've done all of our analysis. We've gotten rid of blank chart syndrome. We've looked at all of our flat levels of support. We've looked at all of our trend lines. We've looked at RSI and MACD. We've looked at volume and TD sequential and moving averages and VPVR and the Bollinger Bands and the 20 EMA. We've looked at all these technical indicators. We have a lot of things floating around in our head. The bullish case. Ethereum is in a massive uptrend, and there's a huge amount of adoption and support going on with it right now. We just saw Mark Cuban saying bullish things about Ethereum. There is a very good reason to be bullish on the fundamentals of Ethereum. That much is absolutely true. We have hit new all-time highs every couple of days for the last month. Ethereum is remarkably bullish, and this hammer formation right here with this long handle, this long lower wick, is indicative that the bulls are still in control, and they still have power. However, the bearish case is this. MACD is crossing bearish. We're seeing 3 red days in a row on Ethereum, which is something we haven't seen for over a month, ever since January the 10th. We also see that we have a strong level of resistance at 18,700, at 1870. That's very difficult for Ethereum to get through. We see that we're overextended on the TD sequential on the weekly chart and the monthly chart, which does indicate we need some kind of sustained pullback. We've seen that Ethereum has been more or less rallying completely consistently for nearly a year. We're up 2,000% in 340 days, and it still hasn't consolidated. We also see that there's not a ton of VPVR support up here. We need more VPVR support up here. We look healthy, everything looks great, but at the end of the day, it just isn't much trading that has happened at these levels. We're at all-time high. On top of that, and this is my final point that I want to bring up with the bearish case, is that Ethereum, quite frankly, just does not have as much interest right now as it did 2 or 3 weeks ago when it was very bullish. People are getting bored in the cryptocurrency space, and that's sad because Ethereum and Bitcoin are at all-time high figures. Bitcoin's almost at $50,000 freaking dollars. When I got into the space, it was at $3,000, and people dreamed about a 50K Bitcoin, yet here we are. But now that it has happened, the hype is starting to wane. So here's my analysis on Ethereum, guys. I'm very bullish on Ethereum. In fact, I am a major holder of Ethereum. I love Ethereum. The project is fantastic, and you will hear nothing but bullishness for the future of Ethereum. Of course, I'm going to contradict that sometimes when I say Ethereum needs to reset, or Ethereum needs to have this development put into place, or Ethereum needs its gas fees to go down. Ethereum 2.0 needs to launch. The development on Ethereum needs to continue. These things are true. However, I'm very bullish on the fundamentals of Ethereum, but I need you to understand, Ethereum has rallied very far, very quickly, and right now, since we're sitting at all-time high figures, since we're sitting in all-time high territory, it's very difficult to tell what the next steps for Ethereum are. one thing I want you guys to take away from this video is that on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, as we're going to talk about in a minute, there is a lot of indecision in the market. The market has not decided whether or not it's going to continue on a rally or if it's going to start to correct. I want you to be very careful about trading right now. I want you to take on a cautious approach to this market. I want you to be cautious in your longs and your shorts because it's difficult to tell where exactly the market is going. The technical analysis is not very clear right now, and the fundamentals are very strong, but how strong are they? It's something that's very difficult to measure. I want you guys to be very cautious right now. I want you to be careful about making swing trades. I want you to be very, very conservative with your stop losses, but I do want you to consider investing in Ethereum. None of this is financial advice. This is simply my opinion. You came for my opinion. There it is. I'm not a financial advisor. Please get other opinions, and please think for yourself. But that is my conclusion on Ethereum. It's difficult to tell where it's going. If we do correct, we have a lot of support levels and support zones that we can pull back to, and I think it would be very healthy for Ethereum to do that. So that's my conclusion. Right now, we're seeing a lot of indecision in the market, which naturally is going to make our technical analysis have to come to an indecisive conclusion. Any questions you have on that, feel free to pose them right now, but we're going to be moving on in the next couple of minutes after I answer some questions to some news and some fundamental analysis on the month of February. There's something called seasonality in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and it's something that you need to understand is an important part of technical and fundamental analysis. Sometimes the market's doing very well, and sometimes the market's doing very poorly. For example, when you dollar cost average, typically you dollar cost average on Friday. Have you ever thought about why you do that? The reason that you want a dollar cost average on Friday is because statistically, Friday is the least expensive price on Bitcoin. So if you're consistently buying on Friday, you're going to consistently get the lowest price on Bitcoin when you average it out over the course of many, many weeks. Same thing can be done on the year, and we see that some months are typically a lot more bullish than others, and February seems to not actually be a very good month. We have a lot of important analysis coming up on that, but I do want to go ahead and read some questions. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. It's totally free, and we upload 5 days a week, actually 6 days a week, and stream 5 days a week. Do you think $3 ADA soon? Guys, give me a 1 in chat if you're excited because we are actually going to be doing some Cardano price analysis on today's Blank to Bank video, so that will be coming out in a few hours. Jeb, what do you think of India putting a ban on crypto? Good question, William. So we've seen India trying to fast-track a ban for cryptocurrency going through their systems. We also see something similar happening in Nigeria. This is a story that we're keeping our finger on the pulse of in our company. We're trying to make sure that we're following this. We don't want the dominoes to start falling in a ton of industries and nations start banning cryptocurrency. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that. It's not something I'm happy about, but I mean, you probably already knew that. Let's see here. Cryptocurrency and blockchain is here to stay. Amen. Give me a 7 in chat if you think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain is here to stay. Hi, Jeb. My wife really likes your videos. Can you say hi to her? Minhia? Thanks, buddy. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. Hello. Thank you so much for watching our videos, guys. Appreciate that. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Would you flip Ethereum for Bitcoin at the moment? No, I wouldn't. I'm invested in both of them for the long term, and short-term technical analysis will not change my view on that. All right. What we're going to do now is I want to jump onto several different articles, and I want to show you something called Bitcoin's seasonality. Doing the right thing at the right season is a great art. We have a lot of different charts that I need to show you, and we are going to be covering all of those right now. Something you have to understand is that there are months where you should be investing in Bitcoin, and there are some months that you might want to consider pulling back. This is a chart that gives that example. So, guys, there are a lot of things you need to take into account when you're investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. The seasonality of those cryptocurrencies is one of those. This chart right here shows you the average percentage change of Bitcoin by month. In general, we see that January is a pretty neutral month according to this chart. In general, we see that February is consistently about a 20% gainer month for Bitcoin, according to this data. We're going to look at some others here in a second. According to this chart, March tends to be a relatively bearish month. Looking into April, May, and June, quarter two, let's break it up into quarters. Quarter two, generally, we see a lot of bullishness. Same thing in October, November, and December, we see a lot of bullishness. And this data is echoed in this chart over here, where you can see that we have a lot of high-performing months in October, November, and December, However, in a lot of high-performing months in April, May, and June, that's quarter 2 and quarter 4. Quarter 1, on the other hand, and quarter 3 tend to not be very bullish months. And this is something that we've observed on Bitcoin, is that there doesn't tend to be a lot of bullishness on the long term in February and March. This is something I've done, is I've drawn some boxes in different months, in different years around February. Notice in February right here, we were at a low. Notice right here, we were stagnant. Right here in February, we had a big pullback. Right here in February, we had a big pullback. Right here in February, we were at a low. Of course, in Rona season, we had a big drop at the end of February going into early March. In general, it doesn't seem like February is actually a very good time to be buying into Bitcoin, despite what this chart is saying, especially in the last several years. And the interesting thing is, that makes a lot of sense from a fundamental standpoint, because what are two things that we see happening in quarter 1 of e-commerce? Guys, there's something you need to understand about e-commerce. That is the practice of doing commerce online. It's called e-commerce. Shopify is e-commerce. Amazon is e-commerce. In fact, what I do here, selling a course, is a form of e-commerce. People buying things online. E-commerce sales are traditionally down in quarter 1. And this makes a lot of sense. The reason being, people don't want to spend money in quarter 1. That's January, February, and March. Why? Because they've just spent all their money in between Black Friday and Christmas. Everybody has just spent a ton of their money in between Black Friday and Christmas. And because they've done that, they don't want to spend a lot of money in quarter 1, so they're more cautious with their money. They're more conservative with their money. They don't put as much money into investments, and therefore economies don't grow as fast in quarter 1 in the sector of e-commerce. It doesn't necessarily apply to all sectors, but in e-commerce, and also it shows in Bitcoin, it doesn't seem like as much investment and purchasing happens in that quarter. However, quarter 2 comes around, everybody's saved up again, everybody's paid their taxes, which I'm about to talk about, and then they start buying again. Then come quarter 3, school's starting, people are spending a lot of their money on that, spending their money on books, they're spending their money on their kids, they're spending their money on daycare, they're spending their money on XYZ in the third, and it drops, and then quarter 4 comes around, and we see a lot more purchasing, and Bitcoin rallies in quarter 4. We're out of quarter 4, we're in quarter 1 right now. So the interesting thing is, that's not the only thing applying to quarter 1. The other thing applying to quarter 1 is that in America, in most countries, your taxes are due somewhere around there. Smay is coming in because we hit 300 subscribers.
We hit 300! Let's go, boys! Let's go! Like the channel. Subscribe! Woo!
Shout out for hitting 300 likes.
300 likes!
Heck yeah. Give a warm welcome. Give me a heart in chat for Smay. He's our writer and our researcher, and he's also the person that moderates this chat. He's the person that makes sure there's not a ton of spam. He's the person that makes sure all the order is kept in here. Shout out to Smay. Big warm welcome to Smay. Thank you so much, my friend. So what I was saying is that in quarter 1, we see that e-commerce sales are down. We see that investment in markets are down because people have just spent all their money. But the other thing you see in quarter 1 is people are prepping for their taxes. When are taxes due in America? For businesses, they're due March 15th. For individuals, they're due April 15th. So right around quarter 1, a lot of people are preparing for their taxes. They're saving up money because maybe they have back taxes that they have to pay. They haven't paid all their taxes. They need to make sure they're paying all their taxes on 1099 and everything. Different entrepreneurs and business owners are doing just that. They are saving their money for tax season. So it makes a lot of sense that the market would be down in January and February and March. However, this is the reason that this is so interesting. Because, guys, what's happening on Bitcoin here in the month of February? Well, let's look. Ever since the beginning of February, Bitcoin has rallied 47%. So if we're looking at this and we're saying, historically, February is a month. It's kind of, whatever. Maybe we'll have some bullishness. Oh my God, yeah. I'll tell you why I'm talking about this. The reason we're talking about this is because since February tends to be a bad month for Bitcoin and a bad month for e-commerce, and it's the month that people are preparing for their taxes, and we're in Rona season, it is very interesting that Bitcoin is up 50% this month in the last 15 days. Why is that so interesting? Because the technicals and the fundamentals say that Bitcoin should not be as high as it is. So why is it as high as it is? Because the fundamentals are incredible, guys. And that's the point I'm making here, is that the amount of adoption going into Bitcoin, going into cryptocurrency, is overriding cyclical markets that we see happen every single year like clockwork. Generally speaking, February is a sideways or a bearish month. Yet, we have seen 50% returns this month. Why? Because the fundamentals are so incredibly strong. And I'm very, very happy about that, guys. Give me a 1 in chat if you're excited for Bitcoin. Good job, Bitcoin. We are seeing massive gains because the fundamentals are incredible. We've seen Elon Musk stepping in. We've seen all kinds of institutions stepping in. And that is what we are here for. Hello, Mr. Maynard. I didn't realize you worked for Jeb. Shout out to Caleb, my brother Caleb. Hey, Dasa. Oh, yeah, Caleb, you didn't know Smay worked for me? 400 likes and Dawson will say hi. Got to get us to 400 likes, and then Dawson will come in and say hi. Hi to everybody in chat. Thank you so much for joining us. We are talking about the seasonality of Bitcoin. We are talking about the seasonality of cryptocurrency, and I am showing you why it is so incredibly important that Bitcoin is rallying during this month of February, because traditionally speaking, February should not be a good month for Bitcoin. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you a penny. And you just scared the living crap out of me.
Shout out to Caleb Lauer. What's going on stream? I love all
What's
of you.
up?
You guys are great. We hit 400 likes. Like and subscribe. My man.
Boom, let's go. Hit that like button. 400 likes. Shout out to Caleb. Thank you so much for joining us, Caleb. Caleb's my brother, by the way. Heck yeah, 400 likes. Caleb says, Senpai noticed me. Oh my gosh. Hit that like button. It's totally free. Let's get to 500, and then we'll get everybody in here. It'll be great. Why do I look so nerdy? Because I am nerdy. Mike, come on, man. 500 likes and Zach says hello. Guys, you haven't met Zach, our editor, yet. Get to 500 likes. We got to introduce you to Zach, the editor. Zach is awesome. Caught a live stream. How's it going, Jeb? Florida guy here, too. Great. It is going fantastic. Guys, if you are interested, I'm going to go ahead and give you a rundown of what we've done in this stream and what we're about to do. We're screwing around here for a couple of minutes, but we're about to get on to some Bitcoin technical analysis. I have some really interesting analysis that I want to show you guys. What we did is we started this live stream with some Ethereum technical analysis. We took the chart from blank to bank. We started with nothing, and then we took that chart, threw all of the technicals on, and we came to an analysis. We came to do some analysis on Ethereum. I've given my conclusions on where I think Ethereum is going, so scrub back in the video a couple of minutes and you'll find that.
500 likes, guys. 500 likes.
Shout out to Zach. Yo, let's go. Boom, let's go. Zach's our editor. He's the one that edits every single video that goes up on this channel. Give a warm welcome to Zach, our amazing, amazing editor. People are spamming the likes. Heck yeah, guys. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. It's totally free. They're out there talking about what they want to do next to interrupt me. Guys, we're going to go for another 28 minutes or so. We're going to do about an hour worth of streaming. We've got about 15 minutes worth of technical analysis left, so we're just sitting here and enjoying ourselves. We are going to jump onto some technical analysis here in a couple of minutes. Someone said, breaking news, Florida man longs Bitcoin. Absolutely, my friend. Is someone else coming in? Someone's standing outside my door. Tea or coffee? Coffee. Jeb, what are your... Let's see. Let's see, guys. 1,000 likes and I dress as a tree. For once, I give you permission to spam. Haha. Shout out to our amazing team, guys. I really appreciate it. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. And if you are interested, we did just launch an affiliate program for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you have gone through CT2A and you are a fan of it, give me a 1 in chat. If you have gone through it, we did just launch an affiliate program for it. So if you'd like to sell CT2A, you can sign up to do just that. You can register for it in our bio over on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us at CryptoJeb. We're trying to grow those social medias. And if you're interested in becoming an affiliate for the program, you can find the link to do so in those bios. Shout out to everybody for the amazing, overwhelming, incredible amount of likes. Let's see. We're at 567. Something crazy is going to happen when we hit 600 likes. So make sure you smash that like button. We are, however, going to start some Bitcoin technical analysis. Is Lindsay Lohan my special guest today? Why in the world would Lindsay Lohan be here? You're really blessed with such a great team. I know, man. When is CT2A going on sale again? We will be launching another sale on CT2A in the future, but we're also going to be doing a free giveaway of CT2A somewhat soon. Anyway, I will answer that question. We are going to be doing some technical analysis on Cardano in today's video. It will, it will be going live later on today. So, we're probably about to get interrupted by my entire team coming in here and saying hi, but we're going to start some Bitcoin technical analysis. Guys, I want to go ahead and show you a fresh chart. This is the fresh chart for Bitcoin, and this is what we're going to end up with. So, let's go ahead and dive straight on into it. The very first thing I want to do when analyzing this chart is I want to show you where the levels are. First things first, let's draw our all-time high figure. Right now, our all-time high figure on Bitcoin is $49,711. I also want to draw this previous all-time high figure at $42,000 because it stood for quite a while. I'm going to change it blue for support. Remember, guys, we did Ethereum technical analysis a little while ago, and we came to this charting, and we did some analysis on it. Now, we're going to be doing the same thing on Bitcoin. Want to show you how to take a chart from blank, having nothing on it, to bank, showing you how you can bank with that analysis on that chart. I'm also going to draw a level of support right here. The reason being is that it also was a level of resistance. We hit one right here, and then we hit it right here. This is an important level, and what we're going to do, in just the same way that we have over here, is we're going to draw a rectangular level of support right here. Why are we doing that? Well, it's because these two levels are very close to each other, and it looks like a zone of support that might catch Bitcoin if Bitcoin were to correct. Now, the next thing I want to do is I also want to draw a flat level right here. Why? Because we have two levels of resistance on it right there, two touches, excuse me. So these are our levels. I'm also going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of, I'm actually going to leave that level there, and then we're left with this chart. Next thing I want to show you are our trend lines, and one of the trend lines I need to show you is on the 4-hourly. In fact, all of the trend lines are on the 4-hourly. Remember what we said earlier? I want to encourage you guys to look down on the 4-hourly chart. I think I'm getting invaded. Oh my goodness. Hey, it's Shannon, the head of marketing. How you doing? Shout out to Shannon.
We don't have enough affiliates. If y'all could jump on the affiliate program, I'd really appreciate it.
Shannon is the person in charge of our affiliate program, and when you make a registration to be an affiliate, it goes straight to him. Poor Shannon has nothing to do all day because he doesn't have enough affiliates, so make sure you sign up for the affiliate program. He said, and the landing page will be up in a little bit, so make sure to sign up for our affiliate program over on the Instagram and the Twitter. Give me a 1 in chat if you'd like to see our team more. They are absolutely incredible. Shout out to everybody, Shannon, Smays, Zach, Dasa, Gia, and Tim. I'm not forgetting someone, am I? No, that's everyone. And Manny. He's our part-time bookkeeper. I forgot Manny. Shout out to everybody on staff. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, let's jump straight back on to the charting. What I was showing you is that we have flat levels, but I also want to show you where we find our trend lines. I like to go down to the 4-hourly chart to look for trend lines because we're going to have more resolution. So going down to the 4-hourly chart, one thing I'm going to notice here, and I want to show you, is that there's clearly an uptrend going on in this chart. Notice how we've been rallying to the upside. I want to encourage you guys to look for, okay, something's going on. I don't know what. I want to encourage you guys to look for trend lines like this one. Notice how Bitcoin has been moving to the upside. Perhaps this is going to come in handy, and this is where the trend line that I'm going to show you from our previous chart comes in. We notice that there are 3 levels of support, one right here, one right here, and one right here. This very well may end up becoming a level of support that Bitcoin uses to maintain itself. Now, the next level of support I want to show you is a lot harder to find. I'm going to show you which one it is. It's this level right here. Where I found this is actually coming from these two support levels, these two bounces, excuse me, right here. Notice how if we look on the 4-hourly chart, we see these levels right here. Well, what I like to do sometimes is I like to back extrapolate trend lines and see if they're relevant in the past. This one doesn't happen to be, but this one is relevant for a very long time. In fact, this is so relevant that this is one of the things that is guiding our market right now. Because if you'll notice, looking back in the past, we're going to see that there's a level of resistance here and here and here, and support here, and support here, support, resistance, resistance, breakout, and support, and now support again. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of these because they're cluttering the chart, but I want you guys to understand this is a very long-term, very important level of support right here, and it also helps to define something that we're going to look at, which is a rising trading channel over the last couple of weeks on Bitcoin. Ever since February the 8th, we have been in this trading channel rising since we hit an all-time high of $48,400. That is going to be important for our technical analysis, but now we're going to throw it back to you guys. These are our lines. These are our flat levels of support and resistance. These are the things we want to look at on our chart. We're about to run through the indicators, and then we're going to jump to the analysis, but before I do, I want to throw it back to you guys if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything you would like me to talk about before we continue. How you doing? Love your TA, Jeb. Been watching you for a long time. Guys, if you were enjoying today's technical analysis, make sure to smash that subscribe button. It's totally free, doesn't cost you a penny, and we do try to produce the very best technical analysis here on YouTube. I'll tell you what we're interested in, guys. Here's our mission here at McAfee Media, here at the Crypto Jeb YouTube channel. We aim to reshuffle the deck by helping you learn financial freedom. I want to give you guys financial freedom, and the way you do that is by learning technical analysis. The way you do that is by learning concepts of entrepreneurship. You learn it by implementing certain core values in your life, such as being hell-bent on growth, finding financial freedom, which give me a 1 in chat if you want financial freedom. Give me a 1 in chat if that is a dream of yours, to be able to do what you want to do without having to worry about money being a limiting factor. Tell me if that's one thing you want out of your life, and tell me if crypto is the way that you plan on getting it. We want to help you achieve financial freedom, but it's going to take hard work. It's going to take education. It's going to take knowledge. I cannot snap my fingers and hand it to you, or I would. It's going to take you working for it, and that is what we are here to teach. I'm here to teach you technical analysis, yes, but more broadly, I'm here to teach you how to be financially independent and have financial freedom. Shout out to everybody who has already achieved that, but for the people that haven't, I want to help you guys. I love all those ones in chat, guys. I want you to know something very important. This is the foundation of your journey to financial freedom, is that it is possible. It is possible. It's something that will happen if you work for it. It's not something that will happen overnight, no, but it is something that will happen if, indeed, you work for it. You can have the financial freedom that you've always dreamed of. You can have what you've always wanted. You can help that person you've always wanted to help, because I believe that we should be looking for financial freedom so that we can give it back to the community which so graciously gave us that freedom in the first place. However, it's not going to be easy. It is going to take work, and I will never tell you that there's some silver bullet, that there's some key that I can get you there tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you like most people that do this whole courses business or this whole educational business. I want to actually give you something that will get you there, because I'm interested in the results, not in how much money we're making. I'm interested in seeing how many of those ones that were just posted in chat can turn into twos, which means that you've gotten there. Shout out to everybody who's already done it. We are going to jump straight back on to the chart. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing. So now let's look at our RSI and MACD. First thing to notice on RSI is that we're sitting at 70. That is not overextended. It is right below overextended. We're sitting on the overextended line. Something I need to show you on RSI is that while, yes, we did breach into overextended territory, got up to 75, how often does Bitcoin end a rally at this level down here? How often does Bitcoin end a rally at 72? The last time we saw a rally end at 72 was in February of last year, 12 months ago. Look at all these rallies right here, guys. Notice the last time we ended a rally at this level was a year ago. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we won't this time, but it does mean that I'm getting interrupted again.
I was sent to... can you move your cam to the other side? To the right side so they can see the numbers?
I can, actually.
You can't?
I can after we're done streaming.
Okay, perfect. We'll do it for next time.
We'll do it for next time. Perfect, guys. But I do want to show you the that the last time we saw RSI hit 73 was a year ago. February of 2020 was the last time that we saw that happen. So does that mean that this rally is about to end right here, or are we going to go higher before we end? Guys, that's something we're going to leave for the analysis portion, but it's something I want you to be chewing on. RSI is only sitting at 72. It's very uncommon that we end a rally there. Normally we end a rally much higher on RSI. Notice how on MACD we have seen 4 days of bearish convergence. These two moving averages are converging on themselves. However, they haven't crossed yet, so we're going to leave that in our back pocket, but not much to take from that just yet. Next thing we want to do is we want to run through our indicators. Volume is very low. This is something that we're going to hold on to. Volume is not very strong, which indicates weakness in the trend. We're also going to look at TD sequential. TD sequential is very overextended right now. RSI, the 9 flash on TD sequential happened on the 5th of February, and we have seen us stay overextended for quite some time. We have now seen a reset on TD sequential on this daily chart candlestick, but this day is not over, so be careful of jumping to conclusions. Weekly chart and monthly chart are overextended on TD sequential, something we'll keep in our back pocket. Not great. Moving averages look very healthy. They're nowhere important right now. VPVR support is something I want to see a lot more built. Notice over the last several years, if you look at the last several years in context, there's a ton of VPVR support down here below 12,000. There's next to none up here in the 30 region because we just haven't been up here for very long, guys. This is what I'm talking about when I say we're in uncharted territory. We're in uncharted waters. We just haven't spent much time up here, so it's hard to tell what we're going to do. Bollinger Bands, we've now pulled back inside the Bollinger Bands through this sideways trading. That is a good thing, a very good thing indeed, and the 20 EMA is now converging with this zone of support that we drew between $41,000 and $42,000. Okay, so those are all of our technicals. Those are all of the things that we need to take into account while we're doing our analysis on this market. What do we gain from this? Very first thing that I want to show you, that I want to tell you, is that we have a level of resistance at all-time high. Other than that, just like on Ethereum, there's not actually a lot of concrete resistance above us. We don't actually know exactly what the resistance is. Now, we do have a psychological barrier, which is $50,000. Getting through 50K is going to be difficult, but if we do, it's going to be amazing. However, there is actually quite a lot of support. For example, there's a zone between $41,000 and $42,000, and there's several other uptrending levels of support that I've just shown you. On RSI, we see that RSI is sitting at 72 odd. Normally, uptrends do not end around 72. Normally, they end more like 80 to 85, which indicates that based on historical analysis, we may see some more uptrend before this market pulls back. We also see a trading channel, which is moving slightly to the upside, which could indicate that we're in some kind of bull flag and we're going to continue rallying further from here. MACD is converging on itself, but doesn't look like it's about to have a cross anytime soon. We have several more days before that becomes a concern. Volume is low. That does indicate that our uptrend isn't very strong, which makes sense because we're trading sideways in a trading channel in what you might call a bull flag. We look at TD sequential. We're overextended on TD sequential, but daily chart may have just reset, and we see that the 20 EMA is sitting right around our support level down at $41,000 to $42,000. So what do we see? We see that resistance and support are both very strong. Actually, resistance is a lot less strong than the support. We have strong support, but not very strong resistance. 50K is a strong level, but it's not as strong as all the other support that we have. RSI says that we might move a little bit farther to the upside. So unlike Ethereum, I'm actually a little bit more bullish on Bitcoin than I am on Ethereum. However, I want to stress this point. This is what I said about Ethereum, and I'm going to say the same about Bitcoin here. We see a lot of uncertainty in this market. We are in uncharted waters. We have never traded at $48,000 before. You can see it on the VPVR. There's just not much experience up here. We have not done this before. In the same way that when the Wright brothers created the aircraft, they had no idea how many things could go wrong because they were in uncharted territory. They'd never been there before. Guys, on Bitcoin, we have never been here before, so it's very hard for us to do concrete, solid technical analysis, but we have to make do with what we have. Fundamentals are very strong. They're uptrending. They're doing great. A lot of things going well in the cryptocurrency space, so long-term, great time to be investing. However, since the technicals are relatively unclear, we want to be very cautious with our trades. I wouldn't get overconfident in trades right now. I wouldn't go for a massive high leverage long or short trade right now. I would keep tight stop losses, and I would use a lot of cautiousness and prudence in your trades, and make sure that you're being a little bit more careful than you might otherwise. Guys, we've been in an uptrend for almost a year. There is eventually going to be some big correction, and the last thing I want you to do is to get caught in a long trade that has 25x leverage and get messed up with your pants down, guys. I don't want that to happen. So I'm encouraging you. The technical analysis right now isn't very clear. It seems to be more bullish than bearish on Bitcoin and more bearish than bullish on Ethereum. However, the picture is fuzzy because we're in those uncharted waters. So the thing you can deduce from that is that you need to be cautious, you need to be careful, you need to be wise, and you need to be following plans. You need to be trading with stop losses. You need to be trading with wisdom. And you need, as always, to be investing in your education. If you're interested in doing that, we do have a link for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy down below. Give me a 1 in chat if you love CT2A. And by the way, if you're a member of CT2A, or even if you're not, we do have an affiliate program for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. You can find that in our Twitter and our Instagram bios. Follow us at CryptoJeb. If you haven't already, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. That is the analysis that we have done for Ethereum, and we've now done analysis on Bitcoin. I'll go ahead and give you a rundown of what we've done this stream so far. We started off doing blank-to-bank technical analysis on Ethereum. We did our analysis on Ethereum, and we came to a conclusion that Ethereum is slightly bearish, but it's hard to tell. We have some very fuzzy technical analysis right now, so move with cautiousness. Then we talked about something called the seasonality of cryptocurrency markets. We talked about how February and Q1 in general is not a very great quarter for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But the fact that Bitcoin is rallying despite that, and the fact that Bitcoin is up 50% in February alone in the last 15 days, despite February traditionally not being a very good month for the markets. And on top of that, we see that people are saving their money, being more cautious because we've just come out of a big spending season called Black Friday through Christmas, and people are saving money so that they can pay their taxes is a very good sign. Why? Because we have a lot of reasons that Bitcoin shouldn't be doing well, but it is. That is a strong point in favor of the bulls. And by the way, something I forgot to mention earlier is that we may be having more stimulus checks coming in the next month or two, and we're going to have tax returns coming in the next 2 to 3 months. Both of those things are going to be massive booms for Bitcoin, and they might be some of the things that drive Bitcoin all the way back to all-time high. So that's what we talked about at the middle of this video, and now we've just done some technical analysis on Bitcoin, did some blank-to-bank technical analysis, took it from a blank chart to showing you how to make bank on it, and I showed you that Bitcoin, while it is bullish and it has been doing very well, is indecisive, and we have not seen a lot of strong indicators, a lot of strong movements. Volume is low, the market is indecisive, so therefore, in your trades, you must be cautious. Use prudence in your trades. Use wisdom. Make sure you are informing yourself well. Make sure you're thinking for yourself. So, guys, that's what we've talked about in today's stream. We're going to spend the last 5 minutes or so here talking with you guys. Apostolic Mind. I just joined. How can I become an affiliate? I know lots of people that want to trade with me. So go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. In both of the bios on those platforms, you can find our affiliate link to sign up as an affiliate for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Guys, shout out once again to our amazing team. You just met Smay and Zach and Dasa and Shannon. We have 3 more people other than them that work for us, and we are incredibly blessed for the amazing team that we have been given. I want to thank you guys, though, because while I'm incredibly thankful for them, I wouldn't be able to afford to pay them if it weren't for you guys continuing to support this channel through purchasing CT2A, through signing up with our Bybit affiliate link if you're outside the United States, through watching these videos, and through donating. We would not be able to continue these operations. We would not be able to do the videos that we're doing right now and do the things that we're planning on doing in the future if it wasn't for your continued support. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Guys, I pray every day that we will be good and faithful stewards of the success that we have been given. So thank you guys so very much for helping us along on that journey. Oh my goodness, guys. Like the stream if you haven't already, guys, and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. We're trying to get to 100K subs before the end of the year. There will be a video in a few hours on Cardano. As soon as I'm done recording here, as soon as I'm done streaming here, I'm going to go and record our video on Bybit. Would you say it's best then to hodl? I do think it's a good idea to hodl through this. Yeah, absolutely. We'd like to donate, but there's still no super chat. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're getting that fixed. Loving the energy. Yeah, man. Give me a 1 in chat if you had a great weekend, by the way. Give me a 1 in chat if you had a great weekend. I had a fantastic, nice, and chill weekend. Really enjoyed it. It was good. Oh, we have another visitor.
Hey, ask if people would like to have a newsletter.
Okay. Hey, Tim, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yo!
Hey, guys. This is Tim. He's the president of our company. He is our integrator, and he is a godsend. I'll tell you what. Tim came in to ask, give me a 1 in chat if you guys would like a newsletter that you would get once a week, giving you a breakdown of everything that's happened that week in crypto, or something like that. Give me a 1 in chat. Actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. I asked you for a 1 for something else. Give me a 7 in chat if you would like a newsletter that you could sign up for. And after we have those answers, we're going to wrap it out. Jeb, would you consider some content around Ledger Wallet? Shadrach, I actually did an unboxing on a Ledger Nano X a little while ago. Like the stream on behalf of Tim. Shout out to Tim. We're going to look for those 7s, guys. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's totally free. Love you guys so much. Good deal. Good question. I always look at your videos. You talk a lot about technical, but this time it's fundamental. What do you think? Maybe this time chart means nothing. The charts always mean something, but sometimes the fundamentals mean more and sometimes the charts mean more. Right now, there's not much going on in the news. The fundamentals are fantastic. Long term, they're great. The news is very boring right now, which means the next day or two is likely to be determined by the technicals and not the news, since there's not much going on in the news. Whenever Tesla comes out and buys $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, yeah, that's going to trump the technicals. For right now, doesn't seem like the case. Good question, my friend. Hey, recently discovered you and love the technical analysis. Thank you so much, Lee. Appreciate that, guys. All right. Oh, my goodness, guys. I really appreciate everybody tuning in today. We're going to go ahead and wrap the stream out. Before I go, though, I do just want to remind you that we're going to be posting a Cardano price prediction video later on today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for that. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter if you haven't already. And if you're interested in becoming an affiliate for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you can find that link on our Instagram and our Twitter. But, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's live stream. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Boom, I love that.